Hello, and welcome to the Loveology podcast, where we talk about love and life with laughter. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jason.
He's the carefree one.
She's the serious one.
And we're married.
We have been since 2012, and we like to think of ourselves as a couple of loveologists.
Not because we are the experts, but because we just love love.
We enjoy studying and talking about it, so we thought, let's just start a podcast.
A place where we can share what we have learned about love, relationships, and marriage.
You can share what you've learned, and we can all grow together.
So here we are. Are you ready?
Let's get started. All right, we are in for another episode. Baby girl, how you doing? You doing good?
Yes, I'm well.
Man, it's a fabulous day. Another episode of the Loveology podcast. I thank everybody for joining us again, spending some time with us, your friends here at Loveology. Man, we have a awesome day today, babe. How are you feeling today?
I'm excited because we have another single special happening right now.
It's a single special today?
Yes.
Okay. Talk to me.
We are talking to a dating coach.
A dating coach?
Yes.
We should have had a dating coach, huh? Or we didn't need one?
I think we did just fine. But
but it probably would have benefited us if we had a dating coach.
Absolutely.
I wonder what she would have matched us up. Well, let's talk about it. I'm sorry. Go for it. I'm sorry. I get ahead of myself.
Okay. So yes, everyone, please help us welcome Amie, who is a master certified relationship coach and an online dating expert. Her dedication has led Amie to be named as one of LA's best dating coaches by Dating Advice and featured in a variety of media outlets, including the CBS Network, People Entertainment Weekly Channel, and Martha Stewart Weddings.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Amie, how are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
We are so excited to have you. So thanks so much for coming on to the show. I'm sure so many people are going to be helped by this episode. I just can't wait. So
yes.
Oh, me too. I'm excited.
So could you tell us just a little bit more about yourself and why you decided to become a dating coach and how long you've been a dating coach and all of that?
Yeah, I've been a dating coach for over 6 years, and it all started with my sad dating life.
What was so sad about it?
It was so sad. For years and years, I did everything you would possibly think, like, think positive, law of attraction, go to a matchmaker, go do speed dating, online dating, everything you could name. And I still failed at finding a partner. And not until I worked on myself and I recognized that I was the common denominator. Then I started opening my mind to, okay, this is something that's going on that I'm doing. Like my picker's broken and I need to work on myself. Yeah. And that's when I started really investing in getting training, developing my skill sets in relationships. And then when I went back to online dating, I actually met my husband within a few months.
Wow, that is awesome. So shout out to her for that. I absolutely love the fact that you said investing in yourself. That was a powerful word there.
Yeah, I think what she did was just so brave, and I'm sure we're going to talk about this some more, but sometimes I think that's, really difficult for people just to say, you know what, actually I need to work on myself and, and just really invest in myself, like she said. So yeah, I think that's great.
So Annie, where are you calling from?
I'm actually in Henderson, Nevada.
Hey.
Hey.
So with this normally we try to have face-to-face meetings, but this whole COVID-19 is crazy nowadays. So we have to switch it up.
Right.
Yeah. But thank goodness for technology.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And could you please explain to everyone what a dating coach is for those who don't? Well, actually, let me just say you did mention something about online dating, which we are going to be centering this episode more around, having, tips on how to successfully date online. But also, could you share with everyone what is a dating coach? What do you do for everyone?
Yeah. So what I discovered through the process for myself, right, that I needed to do work on myself in order to find love. I do that. I help clients do that as well. I help them take charge of their love life by looking within. So many of us, we try to pick partners based on the spark that we feel or that chemistry we feel. And sometimes that chemistry is actually attracting us to the dysfunction or the familiarity that we're comfortable with. And sometimes that's bad. So as a dating coach, I go in and I take a look at people's dating patterns. I take a look at the good stuff that they're doing and then some of the stuff that's really sabotaging their chances of finding love. And then I help them relearn a positive skill set so that they can start opening and changing their behaviors and picking different types of partners. And with that said, the main thing that I see a lot of people have problems with is they usually, when it comes to conflict, they're in fight or flight. I help them learn how to be vulnerable and really deeply connect with a person through conflict and really work through that process. So dating coaching is a whole process of online dating, but really working from the inside out first before you put yourself out there, because like attracts like. If you're unhealed inside, there's a big chance that you're going to attract the same.
Nice. Wow. So basically you helping people bring their walls down.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, some of my problems when I was dating, I would go after the girl that made my eyes wiggle a little bit. You know, you know, I'm looking at the physical attributes, and that's not necessarily a good thing. You know, initially, what you think about that?
Yeah, I think I love chemistry. I love that we're physically attracted to our partner, but we got to side table that and get to the core values and your like non-negotiables in a relationship, the stuff that makes a relationship last longer after the chemistry and the honeymoon phase wears off.
Right, because when you get older, that those legs sometimes they look a little different.
Jason.
No, right? I'm saying this, you know, those change, right?
Yes, Jason.
Right. Even though
I always say, I'm like,
I was about to say, I still kept my sexy over the years, though.
No, I always say, I'm like, we're all going to get wrinkly and old. So you better get the same soul, you know?
Right. Exactly. I love that one.
And I'm just curious, when people are going through this process with you of kind of like learning how to be more vulnerable and kind of doing self-work, I'm just curious like how resistant they are to that. Do people come in just thinking that everyone else is the problem, or what?
Yeah, that's a great question. Actually, one of the things I do is I actually have an assessment that they take, and I vet the type of person that I've actually taken as a client.
Okay.
Because if they're blaming everyone else and they're not looking within and self-reflecting, then they are not going to work well with me. So yes, there is resistance. Like sometimes people are like sitting there, you know, pointing their finger at everyone. And those people, you know, I can't work with because they're not willing to be vulnerable. And sometimes when I work with people that are vulnerable, they struggle once we get to the really deep rooted issues. It's kind of scary. I mean, I always tell them it's gonna be messy, a little messy. That's all. But we're gonna use the mess to make a beautiful, like, you know, dream, and also create the life that they want.
Awesome. Now, Amie, again, I sometimes I get ahead of myself a little bit, but I'm the type of person that I really don't need much information to say, you know what, I like this lady. I want to know more. So if I'm listening to this episode right now and I'm thinking like, man, I need some help. I'm coachable. I don't even have to listen to the rest of this episode. How can I get in contact with you right here, right now? I know we're gonna do some more. You know, we're gonna jump into more what you do. But for the people that's quick, want to jump off real quick, can you give some type of information that can reach out to you?
Yeah, they can go to amiethedatingcoach.com, and it's AMIE thedatingcoach.com, and I have actually a free ebook on there, 5 dating traps to avoid. And it's like, you'll see one of the traps that you were talking about, like, ooh, she's really cute. That's one of the big traps.
Right. Yeah, definitely appreciate it. I just want, sometimes people are just, want to get the information. They ready to go right now. So I just want to touch those individuals right then and there. So let's move on, love.
Okay. All right. So we'll start moving on into the other part of this show. So the first question I have for you, Amie, is in a nutshell, I saw on your website that you have something called conscious dating. And something tells me it's kind of what we've been discussing already. But in a nutshell, how would you define your conscious dating approach to finding love, and how can it be applied to an online search for people who may be trying to find love in the middle of COVID-19?
I know,
and
right?
Doing it online.
Dang, dating during the pandemic.
Well, okay, so conscious dating, in a nutshell, is mindful dating. I think a lot of us wing it when we go out in the world. We're not taught in school. We're not taught, some really great influences. Most of us are either from a family of some type of, either not expressing their feelings or fighting with dysfunction. So if we're in those type of upbringings, then we're using those same tools, right? So being conscious is going, okay, I came from this background. I can't take these tools into my new relationship because it's going to replicate my old life, what I'm used to seeing. So being conscious and mindful is being intense with dating, learning the skills that you need to know. Like, again, we were talking about your deal breakers, your core values, knowing your life vision and purpose so that you can ask the right questions and screen the person in front of you. And I think for me, conscious dating really is about it's like when you're going to offer a job position, you have to have a job description so that you can vet the person and make sure that they're a good fit for you.
Beautiful.
Same
I like that
concept. Yeah. And then as far as online dating goes, I will tell you, knowing those deal breakers and non-negotiables are key to online dating. Most people, all they do is they talk about themselves, or they don't even write a bio, which is very dangerous because the websites use what you write in your profile into the algorithm, right? And if you're just talking about yourself, that's dangerous. You need to talk about what you're looking for, your ideal partner. And so knowing that non-negotiable allows you to put specific keywords in that bring in the type of person you want.
Nice. I don't know if I missed this or not, but how long have you been being a dating coach?
Over 6 years.
Yeah, it sounds like this just flows off your tongue like butter. So it's you've been doing this for a while.
I have.
And probably unofficially longer than that. You done hooked up a couple of your friends along the way.
Well, that's actually how I got started as a dating coach, because I was working in the corporate world, and I had a cubicle, and all of a sudden, after I had met my husband, all of my girlfriends that were in sales with me, they started coming over to my desk, and then somebody started putting a chair right next to my cubicle, and I became like the dating coach therapist in my office.
That's hilarious. Yeah. I can share some of the same stories, but I'm not all the way up there like you, not yet. You said sales. Did you say sales?
Yeah, I worked in sales for like 13 years, and just, started when I was really young. And then I got out of it because I told my husband, I'm like, I really sucked at dating. I think and then all these girls are starting to get married and find for partners. I think there's like a reason that I'm doing this. I think I should jump into dating coaching, Yeah. And it's been my passion ever since. But yeah, I left that world.
Now, the reason why I ask, because I'm in sales myself, and I know in sales you have to have a higher level of communication when you're talking to different clients, and so you having that as a kind of a natural ability, it definitely sets you apart. So that's awesome.
Oh, thank you, and it's so true. We have to do a lot of active listening, right?
Right.
So you were saying that something about skills, and I think that we a lot of us don't realize that there is a skill to dating. And the whole thing about the bio, putting in what you want other people to know, like what you want from another person, I don't think I would have naturally known to do that myself. Actually, I think I would have made the bio all about myself.
Well, people say I want long walks. I like to do long walks on the beach, and I like to go hiking. And obviously, you would think that somebody else would want to do that too if they match up with you, right?
Right. Yeah, I guess so. But you're saying to be like more specific about, say, this is what I'm looking for in a partner, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I think what we do is we spend so much time on the interest part, but the interest, no one gets divorced because they don't have the same interest all the time. It's the core values that really create conflict in a relationship. So, for example, one of the things that when I help design a dating profile, I always say, well, let's talk about your ideal partner. Let's talk about your past relationships where you guys broke up. What did you fight about? And then they'll be like, well, bad communication, bad finances, this and this and that. I'm like, okay, so we want the opposite of that.
Right.
So let's throw in. And that's the one thing a lot of people do is when I ask them what they want, they tell me all the things they don't want, but they're not clear on what they do want. And all they really have to do is flip the script and go into like, I want a good communicator. I want somebody that's financially stable like myself. And being able to put that in the profile, it's target marketing, and it filters out people that aren't a good fit for you.
So basically, if you have, let's say you have 3 or 4 ex-boyfriends, you can use that as data to say, okay, I didn't like this ex-boyfriend because he drove reckless, or this other one, he spent a lot of money, or this other one had a wandering eye. And so you can take those attributes and say, I want the opposite. I want someone that can keep their eyes straight forward, who can drive right, and a person that can spend their money properly, right?
Exactly. And that's how you change the direction of the type of people you meet. And the other thing is, like, a lot of people, they keep their same profile and they keep getting horrible matches, and then they just complain. They don't change it up. They're like, if you put in, you want somebody emotionally like expressive, and then you start getting really needy guys in, then it's time to change that language and see what else you get in. But instead, most people keep it the same, and then they hope for something different.
Wow, we Amie, you're giving a lot away for free on the Love Ology podcast. We definitely appreciate it. So if she giving this away for free, she has a whole bunch of other stuff in store. So definitely listen close. We definitely appreciate it. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this is really interesting to Jason and I, because we never did the online dating.
We country, Amie. We from a small country town. We already knew all about Ashley. I knew the stuff that she probably didn't know about herself, because people talk in our small town. So it's a little bit different for us.
Well, yeah. And then I was telling you that, like, I think the year we got engaged, Tinder broke out. Like, it was released the year we got engaged. So we just totally it was there, but it was still kind of, something that people didn't do maybe, but now it's a big thing. This is the way a lot of people are meeting each other. So definitely this is very, very important.
Right.
Okay, so I'm in total agreement with you, Amie, about the non-negotiables. I think this is just golden. So what are some of your other best tips of dating advice for dating online?
My main thing right now with COVID-19 going on and coronavirus is that a lot of people are making a digital connection and they're meeting, but they're not. They have to be careful because it's exciting. You can get into a fantasy world, and a lot of people talk a big game. They talk about what they want to be rather than who they really are. We don't walk around with our list of flaws going, "Hey, this is me." So my big tip right now is, if you're going to meet somebody and bring it offline after, things start easing up, it's important that you pay attention to actions and words, because there could be some false intimacy in what you may be getting over the phone or over a video camera, but you might not be getting it in person. and you haven't seen them with their friends, their families. You haven't seen the worst side of them. So you might be falling for a virtual reality trap, and that can be dangerous. So you need at least to slow things down, get to know them. I always say about 90 days. That's a probationary period before you really make a decision if this is who they really are.
Nice. And it kind of reminds me of Love is Blind, a Netflix show. And we actually did an episode on that where we reviewed that. But, these individuals don't get to see each other, even though in the dating world, you do get to see their picture that they put out. But Love is Blind. Did you ever get this chance to watch that show on Netflix?
Yes, we're doing a podcast ourselves on it, me and my husband.
Oh, nice.
We're reviewing it, yep.
Yeah, so it kind of reminds me of, this facade that some of these individuals put up, between each other in the pods. But once you get out, then it's different, And so that kind of reminds me of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's absolutely the same. Like I would say, again, we meet the sales representative in the beginning, and it's our natural. It's not that people want to lie. It's just we want to put our best foot forward, and sometimes we don't even see our own flaws.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to really take time and date them for who they are, not their potential.
I think it's natural kind of to put your kind of like a bird, a male bird try to show off into the female bird by puffing his chest out bigger, make it seem a little bit stronger. So I don't know. I think this is somewhat of a natural thing that, definitely men do. We kind of tighten our abs up when we're closer just in case you might touch our stomach, giving away some of the secrets.
That's so funny. I actually knew a guy, every time I reached to touch his arm would just automatically flex.
Exactly. We want you to touch that hard arm, not the soft arm.
Yeah, so that's very funny. Jason, you have so many metaphors and,
Well, you got a lot of bonus material with this package.
You see, I have my hands full over here, Amie. Okay, yeah, so great. And so what about is there any sort of particular sites that you find that is better than other sites? So say you do all of this, deep work and stuff. Is there any sites that seems to be working a little bit better? I know that's probably... I don't know.
Yeah, it varies. Say. Yeah, I actually do an online dating class about this, and I have research that I do and studies that I grab, but it varies on the person's demographic. Mm-hmm. On their age, if they have kids or not. So all the different websites are geared towards, if somebody's more marriage-minded, if they're more open-minded, all of it changes based on who you are. So you kind of have to understand the platform and then make a choice whether it's good for you or not. The one thing I will say, if you're a really busy person, doing a dating app is probably not the best fit for you because it's more of a quick conversation type of thing, mm-hmm. right? And so when you get in chatting, people have ADD on there. They're not going to wait for you for 2 days later to respond. They're already off to the next person they're talking to.
That's true.
But something like Match.com or Zeus, where you can actually message and wait a few days and write back, people expect a slower pace on something like that.
Okay. Yeah, because I actually have a friend who's dating online, and I think she is using, when you say app, I don't know but when you say app, you mean what is it? Bumble is kind of like a phone app, right? Or yeah. Okay. So that is one of those situations where people, like you said, have kind of ADHD on there. Yeah. She has been mentioning that it's kind of, it's kind of hard to move past the initial surface level chatty stage. They'll chat, do casual chatting, and then they want move to a deeper level. And I'm wondering, has any of your other clients ran into that sort of thing? And what do you think could be going on there?
Well, two parts. With the pandemic going on, it's been really hard for singles to kind of do I move this to something more serious? Where is this going to go? Right. Mm-hmm. So there's that nervousness, but I believe that you can still create a connection. And, after a couple of surface level conversations, it's important to, even if you're a woman, you can do the initiation and say, hey, I'm really enjoying our conversation. Let's take this onto the phone. Would you be okay with that? Right. Mm-hmm. And there's a study that 90% of men, like they did it on match.com, 90% of men don't mind women taking charge and asking and setting that up. Or even asking out on the date.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that turns us on, actually.
Exactly. So that's why I think, and then I will tell you, the guys that I work with, they're so nervous. They don't even know when they're supposed to ask or not. So they're like, do I ask? Am I going to offend her? Blah, blah, blah. So it really does help out a guy. If you're interested in him, just take the initiative there. When gender roles, they don't apply, and traditional roles don't apply when you're online dating. Once you meet in person, then, if you're a traditional person, the courtship can begin. I think men and women both know what happens next. But online, if you want to talk, make the connection.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay. And what about being on multiple sites at the same time?
I'm all for that. I mean, cast a wide net. I mean, at least 2 or 3, and try one. And if you start burning out on one, go to the next one. It's like you got to rotate the communities. You can't just stay in one the whole entire time and complain and expect a different result.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. Well, any more tips? Do you have any more tips for the online dating scene?
Main thing here is definitely make a bio. Mm-hmm. For those of you that have, and your photos matter. And if you need help with that, I'm here to help you. You can go to my site again, and I can help you kind of understand how that works. But without a bio, most of the time when I'm working with clients, we look at the profiles and we're like writing people. And most of my clients are like, they're not even trying. Let's just skip through them. So we want to see that you're making an effort just as much as we are.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Yes. Yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah.
I would be the same way.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, was there anything else that you wanted to share about just finding love in general, whether it be online and or in person whenever we're able to leave our houses again?
Yes. I mean, the main thing before you date, you got to get clear of your non-negotiables. And they're not, and I keep saying it because I feel like with the years that I've been doing what I'm doing, and even like if you negotiate just one, the relationship's not going to work. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people make the mistake thinking it's height or chemistry. And it's not. It's like, where you guys align in your values. And so many of us tell people what we want, but we don't ever take the time to ask the other person, like, what are your non-negotiables? Mm-hmm. What are your deal breakers? And then see where you guys align.
Yes, I definitely agree with that one.
Yeah, because they could have some non-negotiables that you're not, like if they don't want a child and you do, that's a problem, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I've seen that. And that's why it's important to hash those out first.
Okay. Is there any other kind of big mistakes that people are making regarding online dating? Besides not having the bios, we've been talking about it basically, but was there any other mistakes that you could think of that people are making?
I think when you write people, you have to pay attention. And I think with men, the biggest mistake they make is they focus on physical attributes of a woman rather than really complimenting her on, here's the thing, the photos, they really do matter. You have to tell a story in your profile. And even if you're a beautiful woman, you still want to be known to be valued for your core values or your interests or things that really matter, right? More so than just the looks. So when a man comes on and he's like, you're so beautiful, blah, 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 it's an immediate turnoff because there's like so much more about this person that you're not paying attention to. And that's how they feel. And vice versa with women, when we're writing men, it's looking at the profile and going, hey, what do we have in common? And really telling a little bit of story about you and going, hey, I see that you like hiking. I hike over and blah, blah, blah. Where do you like to hike? And just ask a question and open those doors up for conversation.
Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of feeling you with the telling a story. So if you're saying you like hiking and you like traveling, you should have some of those types of pictures in your profile, like a picture you hiking or a picture you're in a plane. They kind of tell a story. Is that kind of match up with what you're saying?
Absolutely. That's really key because we're visual creatures. We look at the photos before we even look at the profile.
For sure.
Hook me with the photos.
Right. So for the individuals that made it to the end of the podcast, again, we definitely appreciate it because people they click on and click off, but definitely want to give them an opportunity to again get your contact information. How can these people reach out to you to get more information about dating?
Absolutely. My, again, website is amiethedatingcoach.com, and it's AMIE, thedatingcoach.com. And I do offer a 30-minute free relationship readiness review where I sit down and hash out your dating patterns and see what's going on and see if we're a good fit to work with each other. And I'd be happy to talk to you.
Nice. And you cover the entire United States. You're international. How does that work?
Yeah, I cover United States and international. I have clients from, Romania all the way to like New York, and I'm in Henderson. So I love working. The coolest part about my job, I will say, is I get to work with people around the world, and they all have, you think like different cultures, different, personalities. It would be different, but it's all an overarching similar problem.
Nice. And that's cool.
What's the problem? Not being able to find.
They just have different problems. Some shy.
But she's saying all of it is, same. Is that what you?
Yeah. The main issue for most of these people is they're not clear on those non-negotiables. And so they have very loose boundaries, and they let people in that weren't meant to be in their life. A lot longer, and they have conflict with letting go of those people because they're not clear about their deal breakers.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think you're saying the longer that they allow someone to be there, the harder it is to detach from them, right? Maybe they should have done it more quickly.
Yeah, they could be moving on and finding somebody that's really a good fit for them, but because they're unclear and it's fear, it's like if you don't know that there's something else out there for you, you're going to stick with what's familiar and comfortable.
Right. And some people get into these relationships, but they still should be dating. They're dating while they're going together or dating while they're engaged. Some people go that far fast, and you're saying that, slow down a little bit and get to know this person and, set your boundaries with your non-negotiables first. Right.
Yeah. And so what you just said is one of the problems that I see is that people, they think that they're choosing a partner, but they kind of settle for somebody that's choosing them and like really like love bombing them and telling them everything they want to hear. So they're not really being the chooser. To me, it's like, it doesn't matter if you choose me. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to screen you against my non-negotiables to see if you're actually a good fit for me. And then I choose you if you are.
Well, we definitely appreciate these nuggets, these hot nuggets that you're dropping for the free 99. We definitely appreciate it. And we typically have a live discussion on Wednesdays. We do this every Wednesday on Facebook, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. Eastern. We do it on Facebook Live on Loveology Podcast. So look us up Search us on Facebook. And if you're interested in becoming a Patreon to help us help other people, you can do that on loveologypodcast.com. Find that button, pick a tier and join us. So definitely appreciate it, Amie. You've been an awesome guest on the show.
Yes. We enjoyed
thanks
it so
for having
much.
me.
Yes. Oh, and tell everybody the name of your podcast too, that you and your husband are running.
Yeah. It's called Sex, Love, and Mindful Dating.
Okay.
See, you got me at the first one. That's all I need to hear.
Oh my God. Well, yes. Thanks again, Amie. This has been a real pleasure. And
Yes.
we really appreciate you coming on and sharing some of your knowledge. Like I said, I think that this is going to help a lot of people, and I'm just in agreement with everything that you said. So I'm excited for everyone.
Yay! I hope it helps many. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. So if you're listening this far, I'm pretty sure you love what you heard. Share it, man. If you love it, share it. Tell people about it. That's how we're going to spread this thing. Again, thank you for everything, everybody, all our listeners. If you have questions or anything, or maybe want to hear another particular person with a different profession on, you can email us at loveologypodcast@gmail.com. So again, thank you. Stay safe out there and be easy.
Bye, everyone. You've been listening to the Loveology Podcast. Did you have fun with us today? Tell a friend about our show. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to keep the conversation going. Be sure to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. Visit us at loveologypodcast.com. Thanks for listening. Until next time, Loveologists.